Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Guys, we were excited leaving LA and headed to Chicago, but we wanted to take a little fun pit stop in the middle. So we are going to hop on the Sunset Limited, going to take it to New Orleans, hang out in New Orleans for a couple days, and then hop on and head on up to Chicago. We're going to take the city of New Orleans. So this is going to be a really fun ride. So you guys are going to need probably a beverage of your choice and a snack. So grab those and get ready to hop on the train with us. Our journey begins at night as we board the train near bedtime, so our beds are already made for us. We hop into bed and we are ready to leave California. We will start our journey on day 2 as we wake up for our first fresh air break in Arizona. Now, the Sunset Limited is the oldest continuously running named train in the U.S. It has been running since 1894. It crosses the Continental Divide, the Rio Grande, as well as the Mississippi River. There are many sights to see along the way, but our first stop is in Tucson, Arizona for our fresh air break. Here in Tucson, Arizona. You can see the train here behind me. We haven't had breakfast yet, but I do apologize because I was so rude and didn't even say goodnight to you last night. So we got on the train at 10 p.m. as we mentioned earlier, and basically we were ready for bed. So we just went back right to bed about 11 o'clock. So we didn't say goodnight to you. But anyways, here we are. Happy morning to you. We're gonna head to breakfast after we get our legs stretched out here in Tucson, Arizona. The Sunset Limited has traditional dining, so we are excited to order our favorite breakfast. The railroad French toast with a side of bacon is my favorite. It is served with fresh fruit on top as well as whipped cream. It is always a tasty treat, and it has yet to let me down. Now, Rob's choice, he chooses the scrambled eggs, sausage, potatoes, and a croissant. We sit and enjoy the views of the desert in Arizona as we eat our breakfast. Now we're going to show you guys around the train, starting with our room. All right, guys, let's take a look at our room here. These are the newly refurbished seats. As you can see, they are so nice and brand new. It feels so fresh, even though it's still an old train. You got an electrical outlet on this side as well as the temperature control. Remember, those temperature controls don't change a lot. Got a little reading light here as well. So it's a nice looking seat, and it's actually quite comfortable, if I'm being honest with you. It's very cushy. And we've got a coat hook here on the side. Sometimes I use it to hang my purse or my bags. A couple of coat hooks right there. As you can see, there is quite a bit of wear and tear. So this is an older train, like all of them. It's just the new upholstery. A little storage here on the side, and then you've got a little trash bin right underneath. It's the only trash bin in the room. There's a little closet, very little closet. It's basically just to hang coats if you want, or you can use those hooks. They provide you with washcloths and hand towels for the bathrooms, and then there's bath towels down in the showers. So really nice, comfortable seats. You get the table here in the middle, which we pull out when we enjoy our meals in the room. Now, the other seat in the Superliner, the seats are both the same size, just as comfortable. Under this seat is the lever for stretching out the bed as well. You can see these are the steps to go up to the bed up top, which is where Rob sleeps. You get a full-length mirror, and then on this side, on this seat, you've got the controller for the ceiling lights as well as calling the attendant. The music control is just to control the sound or the volume of the announcements. The full-length mirror there, and then you've got your curtains. You can see the curtain upholstery is also redone, although the carpeting upholstery was not redone. Now let's take a look at the bed up here. You have to really pull on that lever and bring it down. While in the daytime, my mattress is actually stored up here, and then my blanket as well, and we put the pillows up here during the day so they don't take up a lot of the seat downstairs. So it's a really nice, comfortable space. It's a little bit claustrophobic for me specifically, but Rob does enjoy that space. As you can see, it's not as wide a bed as the downstairs bed, but it's almost there. You can see on the end there where it's a little bit shorter than the lower bunk. You've got a little pocket here, the netting to store things if you want to, and then Rob puts his glasses and phone in the little pouch. So all in all, this is a pretty good little setup for us here in the roomette. It's one of our rooms of choice here on Amtrak.
All right, once you get in the bathroom, all you have to do is slide that little handle and the light will light up. That lets you know you're locked in. And this is a Superliner 1, I believe, and it has the nicer bathrooms than the Superliner 2. So if you're in a Superliner 2, see if there's a Superliner 1 you can walk through. The toilets are angled, so there's a lot more space. On the other ones, they're just kind of straight, and you run out of space real quick on those. The other thing is, these faucets are much taller, a lot more room, and the water stays on when you hit it, which is really good. So this is probably, I'd say, one of the better Amtrak bathrooms. You do have 3 of them, like I said, down here, 1 upstairs. There's not many people down here, so these are almost always empty. And then the shower is right across the hall. Let's go check that out. Same deal in here. You're just gonna slide that lock, light comes on, and you do have a place for dirty towels, so no one has showered today. Have all these towels that you can put there, and kind of a seat to sit on, and then a pretty big shower, actually. You've got a 2-step process here. So what they're telling you to do is to set the temperature here with number 1, and then hit the button there, push it for number 2. You do that, the water's gonna come out right there. So I'm gonna hop out before I accidentally do that, because I don't want to take a shower right now. And that's a shower in Amtrak. A lot of people ask if you have to wait, or if to pay, or if there's a time limit. Showers are free, there is no time limit. And quite honestly, in all the Amtrak rides I've ever taken, I've never seen anyone take a shower. I have taken them though, but I've never seen anyone else getting in or getting out of it. So if you come down here and you want to take a shower, it'll almost assuredly be empty. All right, lunchtime. They brought us our food to our room today. We decided to have it in the room. And I got the Amtrak patty melt. Love this patty melt. I'm gonna give it a try right now. It is very, very good usually, so let's see how this is. That's very good. I do recommend it. Did not disappoint. Alright, we have stopped in El Paso and it is warm here, a little over 90 degrees. But there's a big treat here at the El Paso platform. That is the famous El Paso Burrito Lady. She is right outside the train with a cooler full of burritos. You can hop off, buy one of those from her, and it will be delicious.
And again, for those passengers that wish to step off for a quick smoke, you can do so. However, we do ask you please do not smoke in front of the doors. Also, for those passengers that wish to step off to stretch your legs, you can do that as well. We are running on time, So that means we can't leave the station until scheduled departure time, and that is 12:10. So for those that feel like being risk takers, if you feel like you want to wander away from the train, you can do that. However, that is your choice, and please be back by the train by 12 o'clock. Okay, once again, for those passengers that wish to wander away from the train, please be back by 12 o'clock. We will depart on time, and if you're not back by then, we will be leaving you behind.
We have stopped here in Houston for a rather long break. Got about an hour and 20 minutes. But as you can see, it has been and is still raining pretty heavily, so we're just kind of camped under this awning here in Houston.
All right, guys, we made it to New Orleans and we are in the Troubadour Hotel. It is a part of the Hilton Tapestry collection. And when you walk in, you see the bathroom right here. Really spacious bathroom. We have a corner room, so we've got city views, which I'll show you in just a second. Really a nice space here, great space here for a suitcase closet to hang stuff, and a nice full-length mirror. Not really sure what the deal is on the desire sign, but yeah, the light is lit. And then we've got some really nice decor here, television, and there was a seal as you walked in the door, and you can see here on the remote as well where they're doing extra cleaning here in the hotel rooms. Each one that we've been in, we have noticed that. We've also got a nice little coffee bar here. There is a mini bar, paid mini bar if we want that, and we can get use these glasses and all that kind of good stuff for the bar. Look at this nice little seating area and a great couch here at the end of the bed. And then we have a nice king bed, real pretty the way it's all done up. Nice nightstands. And then we have a pretty view out here of the city and everything that's going on.
Okay, so it's our first morning in New Orleans, and Allie has asked me to find a place to go eat, which is what I usually do for us. So I found a place called Two Chicks. It is not that far away from our hotel, so we're gonna go check that out right now and see what they have for brunch.
All right, we had to decide, it's raining today. We had to decide if we were gonna walk or try to take a ride of some sort, but this restaurant is so close that we just decided to walk. So we've got an umbrella.
And we're gonna try to walk to the
Ooh, we got a big puddle here.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Ooh, my.
That's cool. Yeah. So we're gonna try to walk to the World War II Museum after this, and it's about a half mile from here, so hopefully we won't get too wet because we don't really want to take Uber. We'd rather walk, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, we made it to Cafe Du Monde, and I got a Cafe au lait, and we got some beignets. Now, I opened this bag, and I don't know if you can see this, but there's a giant chunk of powdered sugar here. Look at this thing. Let me see if, oh, I can get the whole thing out. Look at this. Okay, so let's get one out of here, and let's try it. First time actually having a beignet here at the real Cafe Du Monde. So here we go, Cafe au lait and beignet. Cheers. Oh my goodness. My lips are probably really white. Just ignore that. But this is actual perfection right here. These two things should always be eaten together. That's really amazing. It just kind of melts in your mouth. There's a little bit of crunchiness on the edge of it, and that sugar just sends you over the top, which makes you not need any sugar for your coffee, which I normally put a lot of sugar in my coffee if you know me. So cheers. Hope you guys enjoy watching me eating it. So as we leave the station in New Orleans, one of the first things that we see is the stadiums, Smoothie King Center and the Superdome. These happen to be right near the station, and it's one of our favorite things to see from the train is to see different stadiums from the different sports of the cities we are riding through. Now, the city of New Orleans route is a little bit different. It actually has the best on-time arrival record of all of the Amtrak routes. So that is a good thing to keep in mind when you are scheduling a ride on the city of New Orleans. This is a little bit different route for Amtrak, and it is one that is enjoyable. There are some beautiful views early on in this trip as well as later. Right now, you get to ride through the marshlands and get some incredible views of Lake Pontchartrain out the windows as we leave the city of New Orleans behind us. So here are a few more of the views as we depart this area. All right, we are at our first scheduled fresh air break in Jackson, Mississippi. We haven't been here in a while. The last time we were here, we were on a road trip all across the country. This time we're doing it by train. So guys, since we had a short ride from New Orleans to Chicago, we decided to splurge a bit and use up some of our coupons and points to get a bedroom. So let's take a look around this very spacious room for those who are wondering also what the bathroom and shower situation is like for those roomettes. Here's a quick tour of those. All right, so the bedroom is a very nice, spacious place to enjoy your journey. You've got your own little vanity right here. Open up, get it with a little medicine chest. They do give you all of your paper products and towels as well for use in your personal bathroom. You've got a closet. It is a very small one. It's about half of the size of the ones in the roomette because it's shorter, but it's about the same width as the one in the roomette as well. You've got your light, your night light, and your call attendant button, and your light switches as well for above and the night light as well. And you've got a nice table in between the seats. You've got the one seat by itself. This one folds up and moves out of the way if you want to have a little bit more space in the room. And then of course, Rob's penthouse up here, which is easy. It just folds down real quick and he can hop right in there and get to bed. They do provide you with a ladder so he can climb up. Little extra storage space there. Now let's take a look at the bathroom. So let's turn the light switch on. Okay, so here's what we've got. It's a shower toilet stall all in one. So you've got your shower head up above, and it's two different functions to get the shower on, and you've got your toilet paper. Now there is a cover that slides down and goes over the toilet paper to cover that up. And like I said, they do provide you with towels. This folds out into a nice big bed. It's a little bit bigger than the bed in the roomette. And then as I mentioned before, you've got that table there in the middle. This is the wall that you share with the room next to you. So you will hear a little bit of ambient noise from over there, but not too bad. Pretty spacious room overall. See if we can pull this bed down. There we go. So it's a typical bed. The mattress for my bed down below is stored up here, as well as our pillows and blankets throughout the day. So that's a tour of that. Rob's going to take you down here, and he's going to give you a tour of the bathrooms and the showers.
Alright, once you get in the bathroom, all you have to do is slide that little handle and the light will light up. That lets you know you're locked in. And this is a Superliner 1, I believe, and it has the nicer bathrooms than the Superliner 2. So if you're in a Superliner 2, see if there's a Superliner 1 you can walk through. The toilets are angled, so there's a lot more space. On the other ones, they're just kind of straight, and you run out of space real quick on those. The other thing is, these faucets are much taller, a lot more room, and the water stays on when you hit it, which is really good. So this is probably, I'd say, one of the better Amtrak bathrooms. You do have 3 of them, like I said, down here, 1 upstairs. There's not many people down here, so these are almost always empty. And then the shower is right across the hall. Let's go check that out. Same deal in here. You're just gonna slide that lock, light comes on, and you do have a place for dirty towels, so no one has showered today. Have all these towels that you can put there, and kind of a seat to sit on, and a pretty big shower, actually. You've got a 2-step process here. So what they're telling you to do is to set the temperature here with number 1, and then hit the button there, push it for number 2. You do that, the water's gonna come out right there. So I'm gonna hop out before I accidentally do that, because I don't want to take a shower right now. And that's a shower in Amtrak. A lot of people ask if you have to wait, or you have to pay, or if there's a time limit. Showers are free, there is no time limit. And quite honestly, in all the Amtrak rides I've ever taken, I've never seen anyone take a shower. I have taken them though, but I've never seen anyone else getting in or getting out of it. So if you come down here and you want to take a shower, it'll almost assuredly be empty.
All right, guys, so our first meal on the city of New Orleans is dinner. Since we got on around 1:45, it was just after lunchtime, so we brought sandwiches on with us.
Yes.
There it is. Cute little station. All right, guys, as you saw, we made it to Chicago, and we don't normally end our videos like this, but just wanted to kind of give you a quick update here. We just got off the city of New Orleans train route and made it here from New Orleans to Chicago, and just wanted to, as we were riding, we just were talking, and we were like, this train route really is not what we were hoping for, what we were looking for. The city of New Orleans train route is mostly run, it does run through quite a few interesting cities. However, you're only seeing the trees in those cities, which is the unfortunate part. Most of the other Amtrak train routes go through cities, and you see the cities, and you see some cool little towns along the way and all those kinds of things, which we love, and is really one of the big reasons why we absolutely love Amtrak train travel in the US, is because we get to see so many amazing things, so many like, you know, nooks and crannies of the US that you don't normally get to see, you know, if we're doing a road trip or if we're flying places. And you know, it was just kind of disappointing, I think, on this particular train route in the city of New Orleans, that you don't really get to see much. It really is, I want to say it was like 90% trees. I don't know what the actual percentage is, but it was a lot of trees. And so it just was not, you know, that beautiful ride. The other thing that really takes away from it is that it is a Superliner. So one of the things that you're looking forward to on a Superliner is those amazing, you know, meals on the train, traditional dining. However, the city of New Orleans does not have traditional dining. It has flexible dining, which is not great. And unfortunately, on top of that, they changed the menu, the flexible dining menu, and we just didn't care for the choices that they had to offer either, which was a real bummer because, you know, in the past, they actually have had some great meals that they offered on flexible dining. We even each had favorites on the menus that they've had in the past. However, this new one they just said, let's see what are the worst meals we could put on here. And then they put them all on the same menu. And there just wasn't anything that we were like, ooh, this is really good. It was just like, okay, it's okay. It's okay. But it wasn't like this is amazing. Again, it's flexible dining, so it's not going to be that great anyways. But it just really takes away from the journey as a whole. And you know, on a Superliner, you've got the smaller rooms too. So it's not like on a Viewliner, at least you have like the bigger rooms. You know, you have a little bit more space really, because it's just a one-level train. It is still a Superliner, so you do have the smaller rooms to boot. So really a lot of negatives as far as this train route is concerned. Wanted to kind of share that with you guys here a little bit, just to kind of know that really the shining point of this train route that it has going for it is that it is almost always on time. Not always, but almost always. It's probably the train route, the Amtrak train route, in the US with the highest on-time percentage. So if that is something that matters to you, then this would be a train route that you would actually like. But to us, it didn't really matter because we didn't have anything set schedule for when we arrived in Chicago. But we did arrive on time, which was nice. It is nice to arrive on time. I like that part. But all the other negatives, it's not probably one that will work into our schedule again, especially with the new train route. The Floridian will use it probably to get to different places, in the South, as opposed to taking the city of New Orleans. So hopefully this has been helpful to you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed coming along with us on this vacation. If you have any questions, leave those down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give me a like if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys on the rails.